Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Code for Giants Cup. The Code for Giants Cup number 31. I'm of course ZvP with me at LATAM number 7, I should say. And of course ZvP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chats as well. Welcome, one all. Bienvenidos, we have returned here with something a little bit different, something special. Welcome back to a weekly tournament for the Latin American region. Let's go. Let us go. As I very quickly have to update the title. Beautiful. But again, this has kind of been on the backlog for a little bit here. As I mentioned before, we've been so busy with GSL and RSL, but we have been successfully catching up with all these events, and we're here to catch up with some Code for Giants Cup as well. Let's go. Let's go. For those who are maybe unaware with our history of StarCraft and our history with the Latin American region, this is actually where we kind of began back in the day, back in 2019. When it comes to us covering tournaments, we initially started only covering amateur events, and then towards the end of 2019 we branched out into more regional events. We started casting VTL, which was a Vietnamese team league. We started casting some more Oceanic and Southeast Asian focused events. And then, of course, we reached out into covering Sentimiento Latino, which at the time was the biggest Latin American Open Cup. Sentimiento Latino, Code for Batalla de las Americas, and also Code, Code Hyperion. Code Hyperion as well, where there was just a bunch of content surrounding the Latin American region. It was huge, it was massive. We had our own Latin American roster as well, and then eventually those weeklies did die out. They did come to a close, they did come to an end, and it's only in recent times, in recent months, where we have had Cosmos step up and actually start hosting Latin American weeklies again. Obviously, Code for Giants Cup has been around for a while, but here we have the Code for Giants Cup LATAM edition. True. Edition number 7, which is open to not just Brazilians but also all Latin American players alike. As a result, we do have Cham from Mexico up against MasTeR from Brazil. Let's go. We're jumping into our first game, into our first series. We're going to be jumping into the quarterfinals. Vámonos. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. But again, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you've all had a great weekend so far as we're getting into Masters of the Game, for example. I know Thermal Tuesday Circuit is also said weekend in this weekend as well. A lot of content, a lot of StarCraft as always. And we are jumping into our first series as spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the Brazilian Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Mexican Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Exertis Esports. It is Cham. Here we go, we're jumping on in, and it has been a while since I've gotten to see these two players face off. Specifically Cham. He up until this point was not actually playing in the Latin American weeklies. Special was Juanito. Cham less so. So great to see him take part, great to see him sign up, and we'll see how he compares to someone of the caliber of MasTeR. MasTeR, of course, being the best pro player in all of Brazil. I'm dying a little bit. Being the best Protoss player in all of Brazil, but also the best Protoss in all of Latino America as well. Bearing in mind that Mute used to have that title, but Mute did, from my understanding, retire. I don't think we've seen Mute compete this year. He was active last year in 2025, but coming into 2026, Mute has been very inactive. So that's where MasTeR has kind of like stepped up, where he has risen up instead. And again, we'll see how Cham does compare. For now, Hatchgas will standard opener. When it comes to Cham's preferred style in PvZ, traditionally, he is hyper aggressive, especially based off of Roach based play. So we're expecting a lot of mid-game aggression, a lot of Roach aggression out of Cham to end the game a little bit earlier before we reach any kind of mid to late game situation. Likewise, MasTeR, I mean, I think my perception of him is a little colored because of his series against Eric, for example, where they go back and forth and they're very familiar with each other, but MasTeR also typically thrives in the mid-game as well. So we're expecting a mid-game clash here between these two players, not necessarily the kind of player to rush into Skytoss and rush into the late game. That's not really MasTeR's MO. But now the Stargate. Stargate open out of MasTeR, opening up into a third expansion, into our tech of choice. We'll keep an eye on the Twilight Council timing. From the side of Cham, what are we keeping an eye on? We're keeping an eye on the tech of choice when it comes to the first usage of gas. Do we go Eva Chamber? Do we go Bailey Nest? Or do we go Lair? Or do we go Roach Warren? We shall see. As now we've pulled out of gas, just droning, saturating, and settling into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock being a smaller map of the map pool, aggression is heavily favored on this map, and again, we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being. We'll see how committed we are. Regardless, that's kind of the direction that we're expecting here. On these larger maps, then we can start talking about longer games like Winter Madness or say White Rabbit potentially, or even Title Citadel. But for the most part here, we're expecting more aggression. So it does poke it. Does poke in, does pull away. Likewise, you have our first Oracle in production. Oh. Remember, I thought I saw a building being thrown down. Now just opening up Oracle. Oracle, of course, is amazing when it comes to scouting, defense, offense as well, harassing, defending against runways and counterattacks. It is the bread and butter of PvZ. Very rarely we do see, say, like a Twilight Council opener or like a Robo opener, but it's very rare to see a deviation like that. Stargate play should be the go-to throughout the entire series. From here, speaking of, the Oracle's in position, Lings they push forward, and the third base is going to be thrown down. Get our third Lings, they apply some pressure, they force the Pulse Lightning to be activated, but outside of that, Lings are going to be deflected, and from here we can expand. Builds up, we can expand. Once again, Zerglings are going to be sent away. And Cham does pull back into gas. Okay, we're pulling back in, and it is going to be, okay, there we go, Roach Warren first. So, because it didn't go Eva Chamber, this is going to be a more Roach-heavy composition. Hey, we spoke about this at the start of the game. With this, we can go into Roach Hydra, or we can go into Roach Muta, or we can just go Roach into an all-in. So, we'll see kind of the trajectory here of the game. But this does open up more aggressive options early on. We've been seeing the bases. Standard timing here with the Twilight Council and Forge. True. Standard timings. Looking like +1 and Blink. And I believe MasTeR did see the tech. Yeah, there we go. He did confirm the Evo Chamber and the Roach Warren. MasTeR is aware. As he is going to be the aggressor. Now moving in, threatening a shade. There is a massive hole here at the natural. Does it commit? He does. Yeah, he commits into the natural. Link's going to be going down. Sage Trap here on top of the ramp as well. The Sage Trap, it looks like he will finish. Oh, but no major connection, catching out one of the queens. Does catch a queen. Adepts busts into the mineral end, and drones are going to start going down. And so far, not bad. Getting 1, 2, getting up to 3 drone kills. Oh. 3 drones going down. Mining is being denied. Not a bad start, but looks like this is going to be cleaned up. Yeah, Lings, they're now trickling in. Oracle's a little bit late to engage. And Cham holds. Again, not too bad. Only losing 3 drones. 3 drones went down behind this. It is indeed going to be Roach Hydra. Plus on range on the way. Upgrades are going to be delayed here because of all the chaos that was ensuing. So later upgrades, a later tech here. Not a bad start out of MasTeR, as behind this we're transitioning into, again, a more heavy +1 Blink Stalker composition. Likewise, we're also taking it further. Gases are being taken, and we have Storm being the splash damage of choice, not Colossus. So taking up into Storm. So here we are, just again taking it into a more standard direction. This is going to excel against a more Roach Hydra heavy composition. We got the Stalkers for the Roaches, we got the Storm for the Hydras. So far, MasTeR looking good. So far, it's looking good, looking solid. Cham, likewise. I'm curious to see if he does end up droning. Right now, he's up to 66 workers. That is 3 base saturation. So far, that is enough to sustain like an almost maxed out army. Whether or not Cham drones up his 4th base, that is yet to be determined. So 4th base is under fire. And MasTeR does move in, is able to nibble away. Sage Trap gets baited. Nice moves here by Cham. Does bait out the stasis. And MasTeR so far, he is out trading. So far, trading well, but the Hydras, they're building up over time. It's mainly Zerglings. We're mainly throwing away Zerglings. Hydras a mass. MasTeR, he has to respect it. Behind this, still working towards charge. And Cham is droning. Okay. Yeah, Cham is droning up to what, 63? Looking up a little bit further. Sutter stepping in. Once again, baits out the stasis. Cham is slowly building up, slowly maxing out. As he gets up to past, or getting up to 80. Getting up to 80 drones. Likewise, MasTeR getting his 4th base. Storm is on the way. So we've had a little bit of pressure here in the mid game. We've been poking, prodding, but now we're fixating purely on army production. And soon it's going to be Cham's turn to push out. As Cham is done droning. You can see Cham throw down extra overlords. Now he can freely max out. Job Lords now morphing in. I did notice that Overlord speed was just research, and I was curious if that meant Job Lords. I didn't want to, like, you know, go too far just because I wasn't certain about Cham's style, but no, there it is the answer. It's going for a massive Doom drop. 6 Job Lords morphing in. Let's go. And moves like this can straight up end the game. This is where we're going to be a little bit concerned here for MasTeR to see if he can keep up with the army rotation. MasTeR pokes in. At the same time, Zelaram on the right hand side. Ooh, and Cham's getting torn apart a little bit here. Yeah, force to unload. Force to unload. Decent storm. At the same time, Zel's going to be deflected. Cham's holding on. Yeah, he's holding on. He's keeping up. Zelts are all going down. Storms are connecting, but we're running out of storms. We're running out of storms here. 0 High Templar left. And Cham breaks through. Takes down the Archon, and he can just keep going. He can just keep going. In the end, we're probably not going to make use of these overlords. Whereas they're still coming. Don't get me wrong. They're still on the way. Oh, okay. Still loads up. Can now jump into the natural. Now the MasTer's main army is distracted. Cham picking in, getting distracting MasTeR, and then here come the Drop Lords. Okay, here comes the Doom Drop. Is finally going to be spotted. MasTeR, he does respond. But we're going to unload. Yeah, we're going to unload past the wall as well, getting into the mineral line. Cham likewise pushing in from behind. Is now maxed out. Oof. And MasTeR will eventually clean this up, but the damage though has already been done. 17, 19 probes. 19 probe kills. GG gets called. MasTeR gets torn apart, and Cham, he'll take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Cham, with a little bit of flair towards the end there, making use of Job Lords and then pulling apart his opponents. I will say that MasTeR, I believe he did have the tools to defend his natural, defend his 3rd base as well. But as you saw, his attention was torn apart there. We also saw that Cham didn't sustain too many losses to the Adepts. He only lost 3 drones early on. Ideally, we would have had a little bit more damage dealt there, but Cham, he was able to build up to 80 workers, able to essentially max out and commit across the map. And we spoke about it specifically on Ruby Rock. These max out pushes, they hit that much harder, that much faster because that shorter rush distance, they do get across the map very, very quickly. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Cham does take a lead, and now we're jumping to game number 2, gonna be on White Rabbit. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself, the Mexican Zerg representing Xeritus Esports. It is Cham. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from Atlanta, Brazil, representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Here we go. As we are going to be opening up. And welcome to a larger map. Welcome to White Rabbits, a larger map of the map pool. I will still say that this map still favors aggression, but in a different way. The rushes to my ground is longer, that is true, but the bases are more spread out. They are more spread out. So as we build up into 4 bases, 4 to 5 to 6, like 4 plus, that is where it can be quite difficult to keep up with aggressive rotations by rotating and keeping up with aggressive army movements. It can be quite difficult here, and as a result we have seen many a player struggle to do so. We'll see if MasTeR does try to go into a longer macro game, if he does try to spice things up a little bit earlier on and try to get more damage done in the mid game. We'll see. Likewise, because the map is so large, this is where mutaplay can be quite impactful here, going into like a Roach Warren into Spire, and then harassing across the map. Otherwise, we could just commit into, once again, just Roach Hydra. No need to deviate. We shall see. Now we are going to join. I know the Cham has been a little more active in recent times in other events. He's been playing a lot in like 2-2 tournaments, for example, or some of the other open cups as well. Been relatively active, and he's been playing a lot with Juanito. Juanito. Who I don't think signed up for this event this time. No, this week. No special. As Cham, he does scout with the drone, okay. Before moving out to expand. Does take the linear third. But he actually stays in gas. Okay, so link speed is on the way and we stay in gas. This is unorthodox. Now, by staying in gas, this can lead into a much earlier lair, or technically this can lead into an earlier Roach Warren as he now pulls out, but this is a late pull out of Cham. It might just be a mistake though. Might just be a bit of a misstep. As we just start another fresh queen. Okay. Interesting. So as a result of that continued gas mining, we do have an excess amount of gas, and we'll see if Cham does anything with it. It can lead into a faster lair, it can lead into a faster Roach Warren, faster Eva chamber, faster upgrades, but so far, there it is. Okay, faster chamber, gonna be +1 melee. It's still a little bit mistimed. It feels almost like Cham felt the need to do something with this gas, and maybe it wasn't intentional that he stayed inside it. But with this +1 melee into Ling Hydra this time, there's a very low chance we go into Roaches. There might be a Roach Warren just to be safe, just in case like Glaveadeps or Charge were to be an opener. But outside of that, it should just be Ling Hydra. Things I do poke in. That melee upgrade on the way. Getting into the upgrade. This time this is a faster Twilight Council, by the way. Okay, yeah, my attention. Earlier Council, later Forge. There's a chance this is going to be Glaveadeps. Otherwise, this could be early Blink, but into something more aggressive and earlier Blink timing. We'll see. So far, it is going to be a 4-gate setup. I'm leaning more towards Glaives here, as we do somewhat pull out of gas. Only 2 mining gas. Yep, there it is, Glaveadeps. So Glaives are on the way. This is much more committed here by MasTeR. At the same time, Links, they poke in, they bring down the Adept. They try to. Ooh, they will. Adept barely goes down. Now, what I will say here is that +1 melee Lings do struggle against Mass Adepts. This is where you need a Roach Warren, or a Bailey Nest. Oh, speaking of, Bailey Nest gets thrown down. Okay. Cham playing it safe. So Cham does have the tools to defend, but he does need time to react and respond, and to morph in those Bailings. Does need time. Things they attempt to collapse in. We deflected. will be deflected. We do have more adepts morphing in, and now it's go time. How many do we have? 13. So 13 adepts, they're moving out. As they move out, links, they move in. Their oracles, they're back at home to defend. But this also means that we won't be having the oracles support the adepts across the map. True. Yeah, the oracles are out of energy. They're stuck at home. There's going to be a weaker assault as a result. Back at home, we're morphing in 5 banelings already. Cham is ready. Oh, don't commit. Don't okay. Don't commit to the shade, pappy. Yeah, the banelings are ready. Links, they collapse in. And banelings, they do connect. And with that, MasTeR's going to be cleaned up. He's going to be completely cleaned up here. Remember, these are +1 melee links. Get a full surround. Yeah, minimal, or just increased surface area on those adepts. They get caught out in the open. And with that, we just shut everything down. And MasTeR falls behind. Remember, because of this, late +1, late blink, late transition, late gases, like everything is later here for MasTeR, and he's vulnerable to a counterattack. He's vulnerable. Initial Sulker goes down. Behind this infestation pit's interesting. I'm curious if that's for a hive for Ultra Tech. It's quite rare to see Ling into Ultra, but that is something that we used to see a couple of years ago. Ooh, face goes up. And I think that's going to be the play, just because, yeah, double Eva chamber, minimal gases. Yep, we're rushing into the hive. We're rushing ultras. Okay. This is a style that Dark was very fond of back in the day. This would have been during the Ancient Sister map pool, so around like 2021, 2022 era of StarCraft, where Dark, he would mix in a build like this to go just mass Ling into ultra. It is heavily reliant on staying on a bit of a lower drone count early on into mass Lings. The goal there would be to keep the Protoss player pinned back at home, to keep them busy at home, to not allow them to harass across the map. Here we got 6 drone kills. Nice damage here by MasTeR. Does get 6 workers. And MasTeR is building up his stalkers. Still can't quite move out without Storm. Storm just now began. Would be risky to do so. As we're going to neural? Hey, okay. That I was not expecting. Don't think there's anything too neural, but sure. Why not? And there's that Ultra Cavern. As I mentioned, just mass Ling into Ultra. It's an old build, but it checks out. Let's check out. And again, this kind of build only works when you have map control. As you can see, MasTER's been stuck at home. He's been stuck at home due to the Glaive Adept build falling on its face. And of course, Cham's Ling movement. Just trying to buy time. Again, Cham is vulnerable to a push at the moment. We have, what, do we have Baneling speed? Yeah, no Baneling speed, for example. There's no Roach Warren, there's no Hydrogen. It's almost a pure Ling defense, with 18 Banelings now morphing in. Oof. As these things are going to be thrown away. MasTeR commits in. And Banelings, can they get on top of the High Templar? Again, they're slow Banes. Oh no, they're slow. Oh my god, they connect. Jesus. Yeah, massive connections. All the High Templar go down. And now we just need Zerglings. Now we just need Zerglings here. We surround one of the Archons. There's one Archon left. With reinforcements, MasTeR can maintain this position. He's overwhelming. Yeah, he does overwhelm. He does break through. Cham, he was too greedy. Too greedy, bad. Zell's taking it into the mineral line. Hatchery goes down. We have some safety infestors on the way. We have kindness plating here, but no ultras. Cham, he can't afford it. He's got one ultralist on the way. Yeah, getting into one ultralisk. Zell's Stalker starts stepping forward, gets into the mineral line. More drones going to be going down, and this is critical damage. Even with that one ultra popping out, it should not be enough. The upgrades are not good enough to sustain it. Investors, I mean, we can neural the Archons, I suppose. can Euro the Archons and then try to commit. Lock down the army. And again, MasTeR is maxing out. He's maxing out. Would you land a fungal bait and they connect? Well, it should not be enough. It should not be enough. Plenty of stalkers. We got one ultra going in, and now we can just hunt it down. And with that, GG gets called. MasTeR will tie the series 1-1. Whew. GG. We're going to the ace match. We're going to game 3. Again, as we mentioned, this was a very greedy build here by Cham, and it is heavily reliant on the Protoss player staying home. It is heavily reliant on them staying home, because if there's ever any kind of breakout moments, then back at home you have nothing to defend. You're not ready, not without those ultras. And Cham was getting there, but he needed more time. Did need more time. GG, well played. With that, we have a series, we have a back and forth. MasTeR showing that you can't be hyper greedy in such a way and not be punished. Nah, not against MasTeR. As it leads us into the ace match, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the Mexican Zerg representing Xeratus Esports. It is Cham. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss. The red Protoss himself, the Brazilian Protoss for Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. So you're an animal in the chat, Pap. You're an animal. Hey. As from here, we are going to be opening up. Welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a smaller map of the map pool, but very defensive. Getting up to 2, 3, 4 bases is very secure, so you can just set up and just hunker down. But as I mentioned before, MasTeR, he isn't really much of a defensive player. He wants to be active. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to be in your face. I would hope that he does adjust certain styles here. I would hope that he would adjust his style and be a little bit more defensive here on 10,000 feet, as the map does favor that kind of play. I would hope. Now that we have our probe scouts, hatch gas pool out of Cham. We have our initial hatch gas pool. So far, so good. Now, we have seen MasTeR mix up the follow-up here from the Stargate a little bit so far in this series. Game 1, we saw just a standard follow-up out of the Stargate opener. Game 2, we saw Glaive Adepts, which were mixed in their success, to the point where I would say, no, they weren't very successful, like they did fall in their face. This time, we could open Charge, for example. We could just play Standard once again. Could be greedy, go Void Ray first, true. We could open up Stargate into Void Ray, into a faster Fleet Beacon. We'll see. As there's that Stargate. So this is going to be the Stargate. At the same time, we do have a pylon block here across the map to delay the expand. Ideally, buying time for the Adept. The Adept does arrive, and do we snipe the drone? And we expand elsewhere. Okay. Never mind. Cham does expand here on the top side, so he's not going to be too delayed. Does mean that Cham, he's going to be a little bit less aggressive and less assertive. By going for the forward base, you can spread creep across the map a little bit faster. Here, it's going to be slower. So instead, Adept does pull away, just checking the natural. We can see Cham pulled out of gas, so we're not rushing into early. Yeah, this time we're not rushing into early plus on melee. True. Cham doesn't have the gas for it. It's looking more like a roach heavy start. I mean, hey, we have seen German taxis on this map. True. can work well. So now our players back off. MasTeR does take that center expansion. Going double Oracle. And it is going to be an earlier Twilight Council. Okay. Pretty early council. We'll keep an eye on the Forge timing. There is a chance we might even just go Glaive Adepts 2 games in a row. We'll see, because yeah, again, as you can see here, late Forge. 3rd and 4th Gateway. Well, we're leaving 3 and 3 in gas. Last time when we saw Glaive Adepts, we did pull one off. One was pulled out of gas. Here we are, all in. Going up to extra gateways here, getting it to 5. Last game was only 4. So extra gateways charge? Are you going into a Zealot all in? No, it's going to be Blink. With even more gateways. Okay, so this looks like a 3 base 8 gate all in. I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but to throw down 4 gateways, to have 2 already done, this is 6 already. We're going to get a 7th gateway, and then ideally a proxy 8th gateway in the center into a 3 base all in. Let's go. Now, unfortunately here for MasTeR, Cham, he is getting into a Roach heavy composition. Roaches are amassing, +1 range on the way. And if Cham drones up too much, he's going to be in trouble, but he's not really one that drones. He doesn't drone. Like, not too much. And there it is. So we have 2 more gates being thrown down. We have our 8 gate setup. Let's go. So that's 8 gateways here already. Ideally, you have the 8th gateway proxied here in the center, so then you can reinforce even faster across the map. Technically, that could be a 9th gateway, I suppose, but yeah, all 8 gateways are back at home instead. So this will delay the reinforcements. But we have confirmation it is an all-in. So it's a 3 base 8 gate all-in. There's our pylon. So it looks like the plan is to get a proxy 9th gateway to be able to reinforce. As more stalkers move in, nice setup there with stasis traps. And Cham, he didn't overdrone, he jumped on 65. They cut workers early, lings are being dealt with, the roaches are becoming exposed, and we can't afford to lose roaches. Oh, not like this, losing one. One roach goes down. One stalker reinforcement so far. 1 stalker has fallen. Just 1. Oh, there we go. 2nd stalker falls. Does 3. Yeah, 3 stalkers going down. Nice figures here by Cham. And Cham just has to hold on. He's got to hold. There's a 9th gateway. Getting into 9. Charge has begun. As we can charge, the army does start step forward. Once again, sending back the stalkers, buying more time. The longer this goes on, the better it is for the Zerg. Bookie the Bass. And Mass is being outscaled. And it's being outscaled here. Oof. Losing another stalker. Ravagers, they managed to morph in. Piles a zone, and Cham is about to max. He's about to max out. At the same time, he does get a counterattack. Okay, does hit the 3rd. Catching out 7 probes, distracting MasTeR, forcing a defensive warp in. Yeah, now we commit. Now we commit in. Just collapsing on even more stalkers, and this is too many losses. Oh my god. Down to how many? Down to 20 stalkers. Again, down to barely an army. Cham this entire time getting a 4th, getting a 5th base up running as well. He's got plenty of larvae. He has all the larvae. Cham cleans up all the zealots. Once again, picks off even more stalkers. Heavy losses from MasTeR. Lings a counterattack once again, just ensuring that another defensive warp in. Catching a probe. At this point, Cham is held. Cham he has held. He was able to counterattack across the map, but able to defend back at home. The losses here are just too great. MasTeR never gained any grounds. Again, Cham was playing safe from the beginning. Just playing it safe. It's calming down. GG gets called, and Cham, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Cham, he will claim the series. Again, it was an interesting build here by MasTeR. I mean, I'm not opposed to going for like 8k3 base all-ins. We saw that it was a little bit delayed because we got all 8 gateways back at home and we proxied a 9th gateway instead, so that did delay things. But on top of that, we saw that Cham was going for a safer build anyway. He did decide to open up roaches. He went for an early roach war and into a roach heavy style. If Cham had gone into Ling Hydra, then he'd be in more trouble here, of course, but it was more roach heavy, and we saw that he was able to build up and amass up his roaches, his Ravagers as well, only ever really traded his Zerglings, and even had the wherewithal to counterattack and force defensive weapons, which made the main army weaker, and he also was able to cripple the economy to weaken reinforcements as well. So over time it all fell apart. The longer the game went on, the better it was for Cham, and GG. GG all played. In the end, Cham, he shut down the all-in, he defends, he survives, he'll claim the series, but shout out to MasTeR for making a series out of it. Did go all the way to the A smash, did go the distance before being knocked out. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into the semis. We're going to be following Cham into the semi-finals to face off against his next opponent, another Brazilian player. In the quarterfinals, he faced off against MasTeR. In the semis, it is going to be inexorable. The best Terran in all of Brazil. Let's go.